And we found ourselves in Chengdu. Our train got us in now at 9 o'clock. And first things first, find our accommodation and begin our time here in Chengdu.
I am made to be free.
In our time here in Chengdu, there's a couple things that we want to check out. And so now we've got our breakfast and we are headed to the first one right now.
Built in 1911, People's Park was the first public park in Chengdu. The park features an artificial lake where tourists can take boat rides, and several gardens, including the Potted Landscape Garden and the Chrysanthemum Show, which features 1,000 species and 200,000 pots of chrysanthemums, and usually only lasts from late October to late November, so we were lucky to see it.
Other famous scenic spots include the Goldwater Stream and Goldfish Island, where many locals sit and feed the hundreds of koi and goldfish. The Railway Protection Monument is also another popular scenic spot in the park. This monument is a major historical and cultural site to China and is in memory of those who sacrificed themselves in the Railway Protection Movement of 1911. People's Park is very popular with the locals, especially those who are getting their daily exercise through Tai Chi, badminton, or dancing.
So we've been reading these personal ads with our Google Translate. Short marriage, not born. Oh, she was married before. No children, born November 87. She's 1.56 meter undergraduate in community management. What they're looking for is born after 1980, height of 1.68 meters, at least a junior in college. Kind of neat.
Drinking tea has become a leisurely lifestyle of the locals since ancient times, which they can enjoy in combination with ear cleaning at one of the tea houses in the park, including the century-old Himing Tea House, where we ended our day.
So we're done walking around the park, and now we're having some tea at Himing Tea House. The park's really nice. It was really nice walking around. Lots of people doing their Tai Chi and dancing. Little pagodas everywhere. It was just really nice. Lots of flowers, too.
Yeah, nice little park.
New Century Global Center is a multi-purpose building in the Tianfu New area of Chengdu and is the world's largest building in terms of floor area. The 100-meter tall structure is 500 by 400 meters in size with 1.7 million square meters of floor space, making it the world's largest building measured by floor space. It has multiple stores, offices, conference rooms, as well as 2 commercial centers, a hotel, an IMAX cinema, a pirate ship, and Olympic-sized skating rink.
It's a mall.
The centerpiece of the building is a water park, containing a 5,000 square meter artificial beach and wave pool where all swimmers need to wear their life jackets.
Reminiscent of West Edmonton Mall.
Yeah.
This mall has a water park and it's got its water slides over there and a hotel on each end, flanking or coming to a T with the rest of the mall. Like a movie theater upstairs and all kinds of... It's a nice looking mall. I mean, it's a mall. But I suppose if you had any Western style shopping you needed to get done while you're here, this is the place to do it. But otherwise, it's a mall. So I thought that we were done with talky bits here at the mall, but we went to go see Harry Potter, the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and they only accepted WeChat. They wouldn't accept cash.
Or credit.
Or credit.
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh, what do we do? And I offered to pay the cashier personally and he could use his WeChat. And he's like, 1 second, went into the back and came back out and he's like, yeah, tickets are free. Manager says they're free, welcome to China. And like gave us our
So nice.
regular, they're like Canada movie price, like $12.
Yeah.
And they're just like, take them, thanks. Like, so sweet, jackpot.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of weird they didn't take cash. I also bought something at H&M.
Located to the north of the Tianfu Square in Chengdu City Center, the recently renovated Sichuan Science and Technology Museum has 5 floors housing 20 permanent exhibition areas with more than 600 exhibits. The museum focuses on showing local landforms, ancient projects, and modern achievements of science and technology.
Exhibitions include areas for aeronautics, astronomics, machinery, the virtual world, robotics, earth sciences, information technology, life sciences, and ecological and environmental sciences.
Stacy is so strong. Watch her lift this car. Wow.
Absolutely fit.
Absolutely fit.
Highlights include the flight simulator in the aeronautics area and a robotics area featuring robots playing checkers, basketball, and solving Rubik's Cubes.
We've just wrapped up our time here at the Sichuan Museum of Technology and Science. And yeah, we thought it was going to be some, online it was saying it was like an old Soviet sort of technology museum.
Where everything was broken down and out of date.
But like fun because of it. But apparently they did some renovations last year. And it's actually a pretty decent science center. It's like 4 floors and they cover a wide variety of things. And we only planned for 3 hours here, but we had to race through it because there's so much. And I don't know, maybe if you're like a fun-hating Grinch, you wouldn't want to do all the things, even though they're for kids. But like, we were like loving it, like trying all the different things.
Some things are still broken down, but there's still plenty to do.
Yeah, I think it's like a regular sort of science center. Online it says you need tickets and you need to register, and I tried to like do it on WeChat and it was like a terrible mess. It's all free, but there's a certain number of tickets to give away a day. Apparently it doesn't apply to foreigners. Just go to like the ticket office and show them your passport and they're like, get on in there.
Yeah.
So,
easy.
But for free, like, you'd be a fool not to come check this place out.
Located in the west of Tianfu Square, the Chengdu Museum is the biggest comprehensive museum in the city.
The history of Chengdu is shown from the 2nd to the 4th floor of the museum. Hundreds of cultural relics and artifacts are on show, including boat-shaped coffins, pottery, porcelain, gold and silver, as well as stone and terracotta figures. Through all these relics, the history, culture, and life of the ancient local people in Chengdu was exemplified before us. Plenty of the familiar folk scenes are also recreated, bringing you into a wonderful, local, historical world.
On the 5th floor of the Chengdu Museum, you can learn about puppetry and the shadow plays of China. The puppetry exhibition is divided into 7 zones, showing the history, different kinds of puppetry, and the famous puppetry players. It was awesome walking around and appreciating the artistry of all the different types of puppets and witnessing an example of a shadow puppet play on screen.
We're done at the Chengdu Museum. It's really good. It's really, really good.
Yeah, it's a really nice museum, like a world-class museum. It's really well laid out.
Yeah.
There's not a super ton of English because
But there's enough.
it's really not meant to be maybe like a touristy museum. It's just like a really good museum on the history of Chengdu.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like lots of really good like artifacts and old stuff and new stuff and.
I really liked the shadow puppets. That was my favorite.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, there's just a lot of really good exhibits here. So if you're kicking around and you feel like spending a free afternoon in a museum that's nice,
It's really good.
this is it. Check it out.
Chengdu has a few different walking streets that you can explore. Jinli Street is part of the old city of Chengdu and features hotels and small stores in old-fashioned style. It is recorded that Jinli Street was one of the busiest commercial areas during the Shu dynasty, from 221 to 263 AD. In order to reclaim its prosperity of former days, it was restored and was opened to the public in October of 2004. Since then, visitors from all over China and abroad gather here to relax, admire the traditional style buildings, and taste some local snacks, especially at night when the alleys are lit with rows of Chinese lanterns.
Consisting of 3 parallel ancient city alleys and the 45 courtyards among them, the wide and narrow alley is one of Chengdu's historical and cultural reserves. The history of the wide narrow alley is dated back to 1644, but was redone from 2005 to 2008 to revitalize it into the modern era. These alleys exhibit the life of leisure of locals and represent some of the most typical forms of Chengdu folk culture. The wide narrow alley is similar to Jinli Street with its many souvenir shops, restaurants, modern villas, and coffee shops, and is a great place to try local snacks from many of the food stalls lining this alley.
So we're done walking around Jinli Street and the wide and narrow alleys. They're really cool with a lot of historical buildings mixed in with modern. So many shops, lots of food.
Yeah, food stalls everywhere.
Everywhere.
Right from street food, right up to like really high-end restaurants and tea houses.
Yeah.
So there's something for sort of everybody, whether you're on a budget or whether you're here to just like live it up.
So it was really, really great just exploring. It was good. Yeah, it's definitely a must if you're visiting Chengdu. And that's our time in Chengdu. We're out of here.